What is happening, everyone? Brian Mello here again with Martys Buick GMC, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at this 2021 Buick Envision all-wheel drive Preferred. Now, as with most of my videos, I'm going to do a quick walk around the exterior of the vehicle, show you some of the features there, and then once we're done we'll jump inside and go over the interior as well. One of my favorite things, honestly, with this new 2021 Envision is the driver-centric dash, and I'll explain what that exactly means and why it's such a cool thing once we get inside. But first, let's go over all the stuff on the outside. So underneath the hood is a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, 228 horsepower, and that's matched up to a 9-speed automatic transmission. Of course, this paint that you see here, one of my fan favorites, is Satin Steel Metallic, and the MSRP on this Envision is $37,040. It is the end of March now. I like how I almost forgot what month it was. And you can get right about $3,500 in savings on an Envision right now. So that takes that $37,000 down just a bit, makes it a little bit more easy on the bank account. As far as your miles per gallon go, you get 29 miles per gallon highway, 22 city with a combined of 25. So as far as fuel economy goes, not too bad there. Up front, we've got that whole redesigned front fascia. We've got the LED wing headlight design, looks really, really good. We've got the signature Buick grille with the Tri-Shield logo in the middle, and of course our Martys Buick GMC Isuzu front plate. Don't forget to visit us, martysbuickgmc.com. As we go around the side of the Envision, we're going to get a look at our 18-inch aluminum wheels, and these are wrapped in a really nice Continental Pro Contact tire. I believe these are 235s. Let's verify. Why not, since we're here? Yes, so it's a 235/60/18 Continental tire. If you're someone who, really pays attention to their tires, Continental, Michelin, probably one of the top two, at least in my humble opinion. As we back up, you can get a nice side profile of this Envision. The vehicle is a little bit wider, and you'll notice that when I go around the back. It's hard to tell from the front, but when we go around the backside, you'll see it's very, very wide in comparison to the previous generation. All in all, I think it looks really good. I love the chrome trim around the windows, especially with the black pillars. Just ties everything together, gives you that luxury look and feel that you would expect. While we're here, since I forgot to show it, here is a quick look at your key fob. Of course, we've got our lock, we've got our unlock, we've got our remote start. We can lift and lower the lift gate, and we've got our panic button. It's not too much you can do with the key fob now. They all kind of look the same. It's always good to show it. I know it's something that a lot of people leave out. Now, as we go around the back, be curious what you all think, because this thing screams a Porsche in the back to me. This taillight design just kind of gives me that Porsche vibe. You can see we've got the dual exit appearance exhaust. The exhaust actually isn't there, but it is that appearance package. You can see we've got the rear parking sensors. Hopefully you can see those. If I get up close, you may be able to see them there. Those dots right there in the back of the bumper. We do have a rear backup camera, your rear wiper, of course your LED taillights. And then I do believe, I know it's tough to see, we might not be able to see it, but there is a Tri-Shield projected onto the ground. And if I stick my foot underneath, that will lift the lift gate hands-free. At night, you can see it. It's a projector light right under this side of the bumper, and it goes down there. If it was a little bit darker, you'd be able to see it. But foot activated, just stick your foot right underneath, right here. You can see as I fall over, trying to show it on camera, and that will open the lift gate for you. Plenty of room in the back. You can see you've got your tie downs here. You've also got the post, so you can put a bar here. And if you have any cargo that you want to keep hidden, you can, of course, do that. Floor mats all wrapped up. Underneath here, you've got your spare tire, your jack, and all that kind of fun stuff. And if you do need more space, I'm going to show you, because the amount of room you can get out of this, hopefully I don't have my seat back too far. I'm just going to grab this handle right here. You can see you get a lot more space. In fact, why don't we just drop the other side as well? Once again, just grabbing this little button here, drop that down. Nice and flat. And look at all that cargo room you have. So you could fit pretty much your whole life back here, depending on how much stuff you acquire, but dog kennels, luggage, you know, skis, snowboards, whatever the case may be, you should be able to slide all that stuff in there nice and easy. You can even, we actually had someone in with their mountain bike, and they had it sideways and in here. Somehow they managed to get it in there, so it works. I'm just going to do one touch here on the back, and that's going to drop the lift gate. I'm just going to give you another angle here before we go into the back seat. Let me shut this door. You get a look at that body line that runs the length all the way from the front, sweeping down to the back. Great looking SUV. I like this design as well over the back glass. It's kind of like a small lip spoiler. And of course your shark fin satellite radio antenna. Lift the seat back up. You can see really easy. I'm holding a camera right now, and it's no problem lifting that seat up. You have your drop-down armrest here that doubles as a cup holder. You've got the black interior with some white contrast stitching. And then down here you can see you've got your AC vents in the back, or heated vents. You've also got a USB-C and a regular USB port. You've also got pockets on the back of both seats. A little place to store some junk if need be. And I'm just going to step back so you can get a look at how your door looks. And then I'm going to shut this. I know the lighting is not going to be that great in order for me to show this. Yeah, it's pretty much going to be useless. So I'm going to leave a link in the description below to the window sticker. You'll be able to pull it up and view everything. I went over most of this already. You can see it's a 2021 Envision Preferred Satin Steel Metallic paint, the 2-liter engine, 29 miles per gallon highway, 25 combined, 22 city, and our MSRP of $37,040. Once again, I apologize. The lighting is just not perfect right now, but it does make the vehicle look great. I'm going to step back, just give you another quick side profile view, and then I'll jump in the driver's seat and show you probably what you've really been wanting to take a look at. You're going to get a look at that driver-centric system that I just described at the beginning. It's all going to make sense in just a second. So let me back this seat up so you can get a better view. I'm going to throw the keys in the cup holder, and I'm going to fire this thing up. Now, one thing you'll see this buckle? This buckle seatbelt to shift. So if I try and shift the Envision right now into drive, it is not going to go. Now, when I first got in this thing, I was like, come on, really? I'm not a big fan of the whole belt buckle needing thing. But that you can disable that. So you can go in the settings and you can turn that off. However, it is really great if you're going to have some young drivers. Maybe you've got a teenager who just got their license and they're going to be driving. It is a great feature to have, and it does time out after 20 seconds or so. So if I were to do it now, it would shift the vehicle into drive, no problem. But it's kind of a nice reminder. I know we've kind of gotten to the point where everyone ignores the belt alarm. So me included. So when I first got into this thing and I was sitting here hitting the drive and it wouldn't go, I was like, oh, okay. But it does turn out you can disable that feature if you want to. So cool little thing there. Now, as always, I'm going to go through this relatively quickly. I try and get rid of all the fluff at the end. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, maybe I missed something, as sometimes I do, please comment below and I'll be glad to answer any questions at the end of the video. So let's get right into it. We've got our power mirrors. We've got our power windows, door locks. Going up here on the dash, one thing I like to point out is like this, almost like this carbon fiber appearance trim with aluminum and then the black, and I think it just all ties together and gives you that nice luxury look that you would expect out of a Buick vehicle. We've got our headlight controls down low, which most likely we'll leave in auto. At the end, I'll jump out so you can see the LED wing design headlights. We've got our gauge cluster brightness control there. I'm just going to leave it alone. Jump up to our steering wheel. You can see we've got our paddle shift. We've got our heated steering wheel. We've got our forward collision alert. We've got our cruise controls. And on the back of the steering wheel as well, right underneath this paddle, I know it's kind of tough to see. I can't get the camera back there. But you can go through your stations. So whatever your radio stations, your presets, you can toggle. There's a toggle switch on the back. And on the right side of the steering wheel will be your volume controls. You can see I'm pushing those now, up or down, whatever you want to do. Now, we've got our voice dialing, hands-free controls, Bluetooth, of course, all fully integrated. And then this little toggle here, which I'm glad they did, just like on the GMCs, you can go through all like the different information diagnostics of the vehicle. You can see our trip. Obviously, I haven't driven very far. Average speed 6 miles an hour. Your fuel range, your oil life, your brake pad life, all that kind of stuff. I do think that brake pad life, knowing that, is pretty interesting. You get your battery voltage. You can edit all these pages, so I probably have to add in the brake pad life one. You can edit all these pages in your settings, depending on what you want to see. Most people, of course, leave it on the home where you can see your speed and your distance till empty. You can, of course, use your control your audio through here. You can do the navigation system through here, your phone calls, and then if I go over here to my settings, that's right, you can see I can edit my home pages and all that kind of stuff here. I'm going to go back over to the home. All right, and that brings us over to our 10-inch full-color touch display. Of course, we've got AM, FM, XM, satellite radio. We've got Apple CarPlay. We've got Android Auto. The system is incredibly intuitive, and this right here, this is actually, I believe this is the last year. Why they've decided to get rid of it, I'm not really sure. But the 2021 has the air ionizer built in, so it's actually filtering all the air that comes into the vehicle, keeps it nice and clean and fresh. And if we go in, we can actually see that we have some good quality air inside our vehicle. I'm going to go back home. One of the things I always tell people when they're shopping for a vehicle is make sure that you really utilize the touchscreen. You know, I've seen people on test drives and they kind of just do this number and they kind of look around and whatever. But if anyone's ever used the touchscreen that isn't good, how aggravating is it after using it a few times? You just want to kind of put your hand, you know? So make sure that you use the system. And when I say driver-centric, you know, I said that they've twisted everything towards the driver. You'll notice that this screen and the console, everything is facing me. So as opposed to it being flat into the screen, everything is facing the driver, which is how it should be. I'm going to see if I can get the seat back a little further. We'll go way back, and you'll see what I mean. Everything is facing me. So it looks a lot better. It does reduce the glare. It's just a better experience for the driver. And let's be honest, the whole system is designed for the driver. It shouldn't be designed for the passenger. Who cares, really, if they can't get as good a view of the screen? So you actually can't see it as well in the video. When you test drive one, you'll notice it. It's pretty dramatic. I mean, you can see, let me see if I can tilt this down. You can see just how turned this screen actually is towards me. My favorite thing about this interior was actually in the top 10 for vehicles under 50,000 by Auto Trader, which, you know, I could see why. Just really, really great. I can't express it enough. I love the way that this is set up. I think this is the best thing that they ever could have done. I love the driver focus system. I did say Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. If you're a Waze person like I am, it's great. You can just hook up your phone, use Waze, use your navigation. You'll see this system does not have a built-in navigation. Save the money, don't fret. Pretty much everyone has a phone. Plug in your phone and use the navigation right there through the phone. Works really good. I am sweating in here. I'm going to turn. Oh, it is off. It's just finally nice out here in New England. I guess I shouldn't complain too much about the heat. I'll put the window down. Underneath our IntelliLink system, we've got our heated seats, our climate control system. You saw when I hit it, it gives us our readings here. You can adjust them pretty simply. I don't think we need to go over that too much. Of course, you can do the climate control system up here, but I'm glad that we still have buttons to utilize that. We've got a little storage compartment here, and we've got a power outlet, USB and USB-C, and then a rubberized mat. This one is not a wireless charging mat, but it is rubberized, so if you need to throw your phone in there, you can connect it to the system still via Bluetooth and kind of shut this, leave it plugged in if you need to, and forget about it. Controls here, we've got our auto start and stop button. So that auto stop feature where you come to a complete stop and the vehicle shuts itself down, you can disable that if you're like me and you're not a big fan of it. You've also got your hill descent control, you've got your lane departure warning, you've got your traction control, and then you've got your parking sensors on or off. I don't know anyone that ever turns these things off. The only time I have ever found a need to actually turn the sensors off is if I had a bike rack on the back, and the bike rack had these little straps that came and hung down, and the sensor would keep going off. So it is nice that you do have the ability to turn those off if you run into a scenario like that one. To shift into gear, things have changed. Once again, very driver focused. Instead of being up here, everything's right here. So if your arm is on the armrest, throw this thing into gear, foot on the brake, and we are in drive. time to park. And now we are parked. Really nice design. I like this layout a lot more, actually, than the GMC setup, like the Terrain, where it's up here on the dash. I just think this is a nice, cleaner layout. It also just looks good, especially with this gloss black. Once again, we've got aluminum. Everything looks luxury, and that's what we're looking for. Also, something that's a little tough to see is this thing's channeled, so I'm going to try and drop the camera down a little bit. You can see there's actually a pass-through, so you can use this as storage if you want. Put whatever you want down here. I'm not really sure what you do. I try and keep my vehicle as empty as can be, but if you needed a little bit more room for storage, this whole console under here is a pass-through, and you can stick whatever you want under here. Mode selector button, so if you wanted to go into touring mode, all-wheel drive sport mode, you can just hit this button, and you'll see I can actually show you where it corresponds up on the dash. Off-road mode, if you're really gonna feel froggy in this thing. Chances are you're gonna leave this in touring mode most of the time. However, if the weather's getting a little crazy, you're gonna take this out. Maybe it's a dirt road or something like that. You can throw it in the off-road or all-wheel drive mode. Center console, if you hit this button here, it opens up. I kind of like the way that opens. I don't believe there are any plugins down here. There are not, but it is rubberized at the bottom. And you can just close this like so. And this is leather wrapped with your contrast stitching. Above us, not too much going on. We've got our interior lighting, and we've got our OnStar and rear view mirror. And of course, we've got our sun visors, LED lighting. And that, my friends, is the pretty quick rundown. This is, once again, a 2021 Buick Envision. All-wheel drive preferred. Obviously, there's a few different trim levels. And I'm going to get out really quickly. I'm going to throw the headlights on just so you can see those, since I didn't show those off. And that's, you know, one of my favorite things with all these new vehicles is the headlights. There we go. And I will say it, even though I've been told I say it all the time, but, you know, sometimes if you haven't seen my videos, you may see the LED lights flickering just a little bit. LED lights actually flicker at a really high rate of speed the human eye does not detect. However, things like this camera that I'm using to film this will. So that's what you're seeing there. And that, my good friends, is the 2021 Buick Envision all-wheel drive preferred. As I said, please consider dropping a question down below if you have any. Subscribe, like, comment. You know, I like my job. Help keep me employed. Hopefully this video helped you out. I have a ton of great content coming. We've got a ton of new vehicles on the way. The 2022 GMC Terrain was actually just released by GMC, so I have some photos of that I'll be sharing with all of you on my other channel as well as this one. And I will see you all in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. And yeah, spring is in the air. We'll see you soon, guys. Take care.